Don't get alarmed. Don't get alarmed. It's just me. And Buddy. The best neighbor you could ever want. He takes care of me and everything I've got. He's mowed my yard for 4 or 5 years. He gets out here and poisons around my cars, moves everything I want, and lets me use his trailer to haul more junk in. He's a heck of a good neighbor. You couldn't find a better one. Anyway, this garb I've got on is what they used in, I think, a two pandemics before this one. And the caretakers and the doctors and the people that took care of the dead, they were pretty bad to wear this stuff here as their protection. It would stuff this part with gauze to be a mask or whatever, and then they'd put like pieces of fruit and lemons and all sorts of stuff in here so it would kind of defer the stink of the dead, and sometimes the living, would smell. And this is what they used. When somebody like this come to your door, you know something bad had happened or will happen. And this is all they could come up with to try and combat these terrible pandemics. Which they didn't, I don't even know if they had a word for it. But it's just what they did. And they're scrambling to do that. The first one, called the Black Death, I think it was the first one. You never know. History only goes back so far that they let you know. And let me get this garb off. You go into Walmart wearing this, and you've got the whole aisle to yourself. But you've got to use this self-checkout because everybody will run. Anyway, I'd like to talk to you about the future. These pandemics and stuff. They tell you about what's happening now, and I've been reading a lot about what happened back then, in the past, and I'm optimistic, and I'm naive and everything else too. That's just the way I learned and I am. So the future. Now, when the first one I'm going to talk about, the Black Death, it killed 1/3 of the planet. 1/3 of the people on the planet that's going around like this. No, it goes down like this. It killed zillions. They said 100 million. Yeah, 100 million it killed. And afterwards, when it got away or got taken care of or it finished doing whatever it wanted to, and they got people washing their hands and doing the hygiene stuff, that pretty much knocked it in the head. So by the time that happened, there wasn't anybody to run the shops, excuse me, or do make the products that you need and raise the food that you have to have, and all this other. They were just all gone. And so that allowed the next generation of people to step up into their places, and they got the jobs, and they were more profitable than the ones that they replaced. So it's a bad good thing. There's lots of bad good things in the world, or good bad things. You just gotta. A lot of it has to do with timing and circumstance. So not everything that's bad will have some good come later or then or when. So after that happened, we got the Spanish flu, which come out of, they tell me that there was a hog farmer, or just a farmer, I don't know if he was a hog or not, in Kentucky. And he got the flu on his farm, and the mosquitoes, and it spread from there. He was selling some of his stuff to the Army base, where they had a big training camp there, and they were training boys for World War I. And of course it killed, 600 people there, but they still sent, thousands and thousands of the soldiers that were trained up there overseas. And from there, they got mixed in with the, Spanish guys, even some of the Germans got mixed up with it. And English, and everybody in Europe got sick over it. And then, of course, we had it here too. And it killed so many people in Spain. They named it after the Spanish flu, and not the Kentucky flu, which is curious. But that's the way it came home, is the Spanish flu, and it was just wiping everybody out here and there, and had people dead by the millions there too. And then it let up. People started staying in and wearing their masks and washing their feet, their hands, and and stuff like that. And it got lessened. It dropped, it dropped quite a bit. So everybody came out, and they had big parades about the war and all this other stuff that was going on good. And they all got sick again, because they had contact with everybody again. So then they had to quarantine everybody again, and I heard there was some pistol shooting and some other stuff, people being arrested for not wearing their masks. And it's a small thing to do to help yourself and your fellow man, is to wear one of them masks. Think of it as a life accessory. I don't always wear a mask when I should, but I try. I'm here, you're, 6, 7 feet away, so, but still you need to wear a mask too. And my hands, the mechanic's hands, usually all cuffed up and stained. Mine just soft as a baby, I guess. It's been a long time since I held a baby. And Who knows? I love babies. Uh, there's on the second one, we got a double whammy because when the war ended, everybody went home, and we had the depression, compression, and dust bowl and stuff hit us, and there's people starving everywhere, and the stock market hit the ground, and all sorts of good, terrible, bad stuff. But once we got out of that recession, just like in the first pandemic, everybody stepped into the other people's shoes, and they were profitable. They made the money. They made the money now. That's probably the big money then, is probably the big money we still got now, the families. So I expect this one, since two of them done the same thing, because we're all still human, some of us are human, I figure this will be gone in 2 years. That's just my mind. This will be gone in 2 years, and we'll lose a lot of goods and services as soon as everything calms down, and it will. And we'll have a recession for a while, and then things is going to go big and wide again. We're going to be prosperous. We're going to be we're going to just go wild with the opportunities that's going to be afforded to us, those that are still here, of course, because there'll be nobody already in these positions, or nobody already running this stuff, or nobody making this stuff, and somebody's going to have to step up and do it, and the people that do is a great opportunity to get that started. And it's an opportunity that would not have come had there not been so many people die over this flu, this pandemic. I don't know about the flu stuff, but that's about the only positive thing I can think of. Is I'm pretty sure in 2 years it'll all be in the history books. They write it. It depends on who writes the history. That's is how the history goes. And we got a couple years of suffrage, and then a recession to get over, which we've been recessed many times, and then after that it's a land of opportunity. So there's going to be some fortunes made, and some people that will have an easier life that may have been struggling before this, because they'll have the opportunity to work and make this stuff and go ahead and start again. Every great start, every great do-over is usually a little bit above what you was. When I've had to start over a couple times that I can remember, I always end up better off than what I did before when I lost everything. So I think that's, I know that's the Father taking care of me and all of y'all and us, because He wants us to be happy. And so that's my pandemic talk. You won't see people dressed like this, like they did, but you're going to see lots of people with masks on, and there'll be some, I think they're going to start having some oxygen masks on and stuff, because this is, right now it's airborne. Somebody could cough in your general direction or break wind in your general direction, and if you don't know it, you'll walk into that stuff floating in the air and you'll get it. It ain't just between here and there. It's going to be hanging up in the air right there. And if somebody driving down the road, I worry about it, which is probably not nowhere right. But I like to have my window down when I drive down the road, especially in fall-like temperatures. And if a guy in front of me that's sick, going to the hospital, coughing and spewing out to his window, and I'm behind him in my car, I could probably get it. I don't know. It's got to morph into something worse to get worse. And it's already bad. But at least there'll be a future. And you might have some ideas on the future part, like I just shared with you. You might have some better ideas than this old boy, because I've just got a 6th grade education. So know this, that I love you, and I'm praying for you. And Father's got a hold of you. And one thing I can guarantee, in the whole world, God always wins. So I'll get crawled out of my tea bucket, trying it on for size. Watch me fall over and hurt myself. Oh, yeah. So here we go. Knees don't fail me now. Yep, I'm doing good today. Y'all haven't figured it out. I'm all dressed up in the goofy stuff, and I'm doing goofy stuff. There's the old tea bucket. It's getting all scratched up every time I have to move it, but I can fix that, or somebody can. So, anyway, I want to say the same thing I always say, and it's real. I spend some time at night just praying for y'all. And I know y'all praying for me, because look at me, I'm still here. Thank you so much for your love and for your prayers. Okay, let's get this garb off before the guys in the white coats come after me. Hey, I've got a white coat. I'll just get a net. A net? I'll get a, yeah. Bye.